Or you have to die. Every time you evolve, you gotta leave it back there. You know, you want it because it's familiar. And a lot of times we like to resort to the familiar, even if it's toxic, you know. So you have to leave that corpse, that beautiful old you has to be left, and you have to walk forward and not look back. That's the hardest part, not leaving the people, but it's leaving your old ways and you.
Now, after hearing that clip, I could not deny that, as crazy as it seems, Kamala Harris losing this election to Donald Trump is actually the best thing for the future of this country. And Donald Trump, as I said in my previous video, really benefited from buying into the slogan aspect of politics. And essentially, MAGA is its own party. He ran under the Republican Party, but it's its own party, which is a very Aquarian thing. In actuality, if you're looking clearly, there's some inspiration that can be drawn from here without focusing on the ignorant rhetoric of it. But what we do here in astrology is focus on the archetypal energy playing out.
Student of the mind, steady studying my enemies. Anytime I rhyme, feel like I smoked a blunt of cannabis. Like PG, pass me the clippers, I'ma handle it. More like CP3, just warrior like glamorous.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of 𝐦𝐤𝐿 Knowledge. Today, we'll be talking about how you can allow Pluto to transform and evolve your life while it transits Aquarius. So, let's get into it. All right, y'all, a quick reminder. For me, it's already the holiday seasons. If you are interested in getting yourself a reading or one of your loved ones a reading for the holidays, you can do that now. I have a lot of sales going on at GeminiBrown.com, and they'll be going on all the way to the end of the year. So take advantage. With that said, anybody who books services with me during this time will be given an option to join my Lion's Den community for no additional cost. And what comes with that is going to be a weekly lesson regarding different topics within astrology and spirituality. I'm letting you guys know it's going to be a more refined approach. And I pretty much know everyone stands to benefit more because my focus into the future now is consolidating the astrological information so it can be more effective, which will lead to how we absorb it coming in more creative ways. So if you're interested in learning more from me and building and being a part of community that also supports your individuality, shoot me an email and we'll get to it. So today we are talking about Pluto and Aquarius, and we're about 10 days away, y'all, from Pluto exiting Capricorn for good and handling business here. So what I want to do, what I want to highlight here is some takeaways that I've had, particularly since the election, and show you guys where that's led me. So I'm going to play this Erykah Badu clip again because it really spoke to me, and it will build on it.
Or you have to die. Every time you evolve, you gotta leave it back there. You know, you want it because it's familiar. And a lot of times we like to resort to the familiar, even if it's toxic, you know. So you have to leave that corpse, that beautiful old you has to be left, and you have to walk forward and not look back. That's the hardest part, not leaving the people, but it's leaving your old ways and you.
This clip speaks to the current moment that we're in. And it gave me a realization that the energy is always playing out how it's supposed to. And Donald Trump being elected president again plays towards that. And the reason being is that, in a simple sense, and I knew this the first time he got elected, in order for real change to occur, there has to be this collective uncomfortableness. There has to be this thing that kind of brings people together. So if you can see through the confusion, you'll see that in efforts to get Kamala Harris, elected, certain people came together. And then even within that, you had different groups of people coming together to express how they felt, what their actual views were. And Donald Trump, as I said in my previous video, really benefited from buying into the slogan aspect of politics. And essentially, MAGA is its own party. He ran under the Republican Party, but it's its own party, which is a very Aquarian thing. Now, after hearing that clip, I could not deny that, as crazy as it seems, Kamala Harris losing this election to Donald Trump is actually the best thing for the future of this country. And I'm talking to those with ears that can hear. And I'm sure you will hear me. As I said before, we need to really be uncomfortable for change to occur. And her winning represents comfort. Comfort that the same lies can be told, right? The comfort that things won't actually change, because no matter how we slice it, y'all, evolution is uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. But it's when you stand in there with the unfamiliarity that you're eventually able to benefit. So I want to highlight something else that really speaks towards Aquarius energy and how to evolve with it. Through this election, we have different groups of people expressing their viewpoints on societal matters. Remember, this represents Capricorn, and Pluto's job is to transform how those things go. And they can't really change without the people expressing a desire for change. So really what I'm saying, even the people who did not vote, they are not at fault. That is them exercising their Aquarian right. Just how all of us who chose a party did the same. Aquarius is fixed air, which speaks of big intellectualism. And anybody with Aquarius placements know you have a little God complex. How this is going to manifest collectively is that people are going to be more comfortable expressing their viewpoints, no matter how unconventional or non-traditional they are. And ultimately, that's what's supposed to occur. Now, going back towards the idea of MAGA really being its own party, how I really feel, I feel it spiritually, I could sense it, is that that's the first of many other parties to develop. Not necessarily political, but in whatever Aquarian way they feel moved to need to be developed. In actuality, if you're looking clearly, there's some inspiration that can be drawn from here without focusing on the ignorant rhetoric of it. But what we do here in astrology is focus on the archetypal energy playing out. MAGA is an Aquarian group with a set of ideals. I'm not succumbing to fear. I refuse to assume the worst. I'm observing. I'm going to continue to observe how things play out and encourage others to do the same. Because remember, when we prejudge something, that's prejudice. So if you're really having strong feelings towards someone who expresses a love for Donald Trump or the MAGA party, you aren't doing yourself any favors. So it brings me to my next important point. In order to evolve, you have to be able to respect other people's viewpoints and understand that they have the right to have it, and that you, for whatever viewpoint you hold, there's going to be other people that you can bond with and agree upon that. But this is where we are in human evolution. This is how you break free of Capricorn rule. Capricorn was like, this is what is the standard. This is how you have to go about it. As I go on and talk about Pluto in these different houses, the key thing here is like, how am I going to evolve? Or how am I going to embrace this thing in a new way than I viewed it before? Okay? If you are interested in a reading, check out my website, book a Pluto and Aquarius reading. Interpretation of how you can evolve based on where Pluto will be transiting.